gonna go for I don't know if we rolled for initiative there, but it's basically Dalton versus these things. Um, Normally it goes for they have surprise on you. I'm not keen on ever really giving surprise, especially when you are in a heightened sense of danger. So I'm going to give them advantage on their roll. But basically, I want to do a dexterity Dalton versus the creatures kind of coming to life as they kind of swarm about you and begin to attack.
All right, so that'll be a 19 for Dalton.
Oh, and of course, I only rolled one, but I've got a 3 and a 6. So yeah, you can basically see as these things are around you. Um, you've got a few. Oh, I described too few. But yeah, you've got them kind of coming to around you, and you can basically choose what you would like to do as they start to kind of like think of this almost as like the toy kind of like little object is like almost with like a pop like popcorn like where the say clay arm was like an almost like humanoid like flesh and bone arm kind of like pops too, and then like there's another pop and a leg kind of comes up. That's how they're kind of like coming to life, is like with an almost instantaneous and like horrific kind of like popping of joints as they become actual limbs. But these six little baubles are coming to life around you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so Dalton sees that and he is uh yeah, he's taken aback, and he as he sees them starting to form, he's going to instinctively he's moving back to the door, even as he's shouting for Belgian Jinx, it'll help. And I think he uh is assuming these things are coming to life for no good reason. So as he kind of is moving back towards the door, he's going to, I think, stab out at the if he can reach the closest one here to his south with his rapier.
Gotcha. So you that's the actual square there. If that's what you're looking to do, you can definitely stab out at that one.
Okay, let's see. Should be a 23 to hit, D for 10 damage.
Excellent. So as you stab through like this little creature, you said this is with a rapier, like piercing weapon.
Yeah, maybe like if it's got like anything that almost resembles a head, he'd probably be aiming at something like that.
Yeah, so as it's like kind of like coming to, you're able to like pierce through like its actual face and almost like pin this like clay doll like thing down into kind of like this rotted bed here. And as you do like stab through it, it almost shatters like porcelain, and that one is going to effectively be destroyed.
Yeah, so he's like swinging around. Oop, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Yeah, so he's like kind of swinging around, wildly to look towards the others, and he's like, stay back. Not that that's going to do anything, but that's it.
Can't break with the style I've been doing. So, Jinx, matching, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Malshun, Aaron Dalton would rush in. Let's see. I think he would like start with slashing at the one to his right, But like I want to divide up my two attacks, so like one on the right and the one on my north.
Gotcha. Goal of attacking two. Um, on some level, you can go for that one that is in that kind of like um cubby hole there. If you go for something like this, you have easy access to many more. Um, if by chance you attack that one and don't kill it, oh no, you can attack the other one. My bad. Never mind. It's still within 5 foot. They're just small. So yeah, you're good. My bad.
All right.
First attack north, second attack to the east.
Yeah, can do that. Let's see.
Are you doing anything with your bonus action? You want to do bonus action the one southeast of you?
Yeah, it's like going clockwise.
Excellent.
North, east, southeast. Let's see. So I'm rolling right. So that is 26 to hit for 5 damage.
Gotcha. That one is gonna get cut across by your scimitar, and you see is like the clay almost, or like the flesh almost like splits like clay, and it starts to almost like mold itself back together. It's not gonna kill that one.
All right, then the next one to the east. Don't think that will be a hit, but let's see. 9. Oh, it's a 15 to hit actually. Legit.
15 is a hit.
And that would be total of 6 damage. Rolling really low on the damage.
That one, as you like cut through with the scimitar, it is going to kind of like cut through the clay, and it is going to like explode into little porcelain pieces as it basically reverts to being just a little bauble. Seems to have been smashed.
Okay, then the last bonus action on the southeast one. For a nat 1, so that misses. Oh god.
Any thoughts for Jinx? What would you like to do?
Yeah, so I think we would like kind of focus on like the chandelier and like popping out like the gems and everything, and then hear like Dalton scream. So like Jinx would just come running into the room. And what's the one with like an eyeball? Like it's just looks like eyeball.
Yeah, in the long run, that one just kind of looks like generally humanoid. Only instead of like having a head sort of at the end of a neck, its neck just kind of wraps around a singular eyeball. But otherwise, just like the other ones, they seem like small little humanoids. Um, Four of them generally looked like young female prostitutes. One of them is winged. Technically speaking, the one in the southeast or the south of like where you're at right now, and then the one with the eyeball. Um, More or less, it's just minor distinguishments. They are effectively the same creatures.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do a vicious mockery on that one, and I'll just say, all that eyeball, you must have seen us coming. Let's see if you can do anything about it. And it's 15 wisdom.
It does seem sort of unaffected as it just like blinks and then blinks again at you. Little bit of the head turn like a little puppy that doesn't know what's going on.
And I'll just kind of like form up in this like little square right here, and no bonus for me this turn.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have the remaining four of these kind of swarm up onto Mountain here, and they are going to attack him. The first one is not gonna be technical. He had some already on him. Yeah, first one's gonna have flanking as well. So we are going for. These are monstrous creatures. You guys got to beware. 18 should hit you, Mountain.
Yeah, that hits.
Take 1 piercing damage, please. And can you roll a Constitution saving throw?
That's a let's see. That's a 15.
Should hit you again. Take 1 piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
At 20 for 21.
Should hit you with an 18. 1 more piercing damage and another con save, please.
11.
And the last one should hit you as well with a 25 or 23 and 1 more con save.
14. Still only 1 damage.
Yep. Each of them just does 1 damage. But yeah, they just kind of like run forward, and just all of them just are like clawed on top of Malchin as they're like just like nibbling into him, as they're trying to like bite into him. The one specifically like between Dalton and Jinx is still just kind of like flying above Malchin, kind of gnawing on him just like the others. But they're all basically in their own way, kind of swarming about him like that. And then it's going to go back to you guys.
Yeah, so I think Dalton's going to yell out to Malchin to duck, as he is going to try to stab the one that's kind of flying above his head here, essentially the one between him and Jinx.
Gotcha. Not that you need it, but as you flank this, you can have the +2.
Nope, that's a nat 1. That'll miss. Yeah, no bonus action. I think he's going to move, essentially try to kind of move closer beside Malchin. But yeah, that swing missed wildly, and that's all for Dalton.
Gotcha. My bad here. Matchin, can you roll a d10 for that one that you hit but didn't kill?
That's a 2.
You can heal 1 point of damage because that creature is going to fall unconscious. My bad. I forgot system shock. So that one, as you kind of like cut it, basically just falls unconscious, and is essentially out. But then it can go back to you guys. My apologies there.
Yeah, then with that, Malshin is. Yeah, he's gonna go like attacking from like west to east. With those 3. You got 3 attacks.
Excellent. Flyer first.
Yep, flyer first. That one, another one. Holy shit. Fair, let's see. 22 to hit for 8 damage.
Solid kill.
And then the last one. For 22 to hit for 9 damage.
And your offhand is the piercing, right?
Yeah. So the bonus action was the piercing. So the first slashing and
Yeah.
then piercing.
So trying to slash at the flyer, you just kind of like whiff at it as you kind of like just kind of, give a broad stroke, but you do bring that cut down into one of the like female ones, cutting it into two, again, kind of like porcelain shattering into pieces, and just through the eyeball, you're able to pierce your short sword into that creature, and again, it like just deanimates in a moment before it shatters, and then it's gonna go to Jinx.
So yeah, I'm gonna just do vicious mockery at that little like flying one.
It is going to fail. Roll your d4. Wait, 2d4. Oh,
6 total damage.
what do you say to this flying prostitute claymation amalgamation? If you don't actually have something in mind, you're fine.
I see you wouldn't want to be you, and I'll like smack him with the force damage.
Gotcha. So yeah, as you kind of like rattle off your line, this like figure almost kind of like looks at you, and its form starts to sort of change and almost start to mimic you, before it seems like it almost like solidifies in like changing, and you'll start to see like cracks go through the clay before it like shatters to the ground. This one as well is dead.
Oh, like when they shatter and like break apart, do they leave anything behind, or like does everything like part of them like go away, like kind of in dust?
What are you hoping to find?
Well, I'm thinking we should search for a key because that's kind of like what we figure we're looking for. So, either like on one of their persons or maybe like just around in the room.
Gotcha. You could do an investigation of the room, or you could do something searching the one that is unconscious. But of the five that you guys have killed, they are effectively like dust and like potsherd, like just like shards of cracked, fired pottery.
All right, I'll just kind of look around the room and I'll just let the guys know. We should have a look around here. Maybe we could find that key.
Yeah, you do that, and Malsha will just like take a short sword and like dispatch the unconscious one. Make sure that that doesn't get up again.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you're just intending to kill it, there's no effort in, um, just giving a good finishing move.
And it's 17 for the investigation.
Roll a d100 for me, Jinx.
It's 88.
So while you're looking around this room, you can you can see that there's signs of more of these little like bauble-like creations that have been broken. Most of them have not kind of shattered in the same way as these, where these have almost like disintegrated in their destruction. Some of them just seem kind of broken, maybe to the effect of giving you the clue that some of these were put here on guard and were broken before they could ever kind of come to, sort of thing. But as you're kind of like looking around, you do find a pair of kind of like very thin leather gloves that are kind of like stuffed under one of the beds, that seem to be intact and in serviceable, nice, non-moldy condition.
Hey, take a look at these. Seems awfully strange. Everything else so decrepit around here. Am I still having weird visions, or I mean, these have got to be magical, right?
Certainly look better than anything. Seem to have weathered the years better than anything else we've found in here. I keep them close there, Jinx.
Yeah, I'll hang on to them for now. I've never been much of a glove person myself, but we'll figure all that out later. But yeah, I'll just kind of stuff those in my sack or tuck them in my belt or something.
Melchin, you might want to wash those wounds out. Who knows where these things have been.
I'll do that as soon as we get out of here.
Well, no keys though, and what? This was the last room we hadn't searched yet, wasn't it?
Do the stairs lead up to a third level? Like the spiral staircase?
They do indeed. You guys have stopped basically. I guess I don't know whether you stopped on the middle level or simply there is another level above you that you could go up to the stairs. And then the hall that you entered in had like some of the pieces of art on it. You also have not gone to the door on the south end of that hall.
So the statue was on the first floor, and then we came up to the second floor, right?
Correct.
And I don't remember what were the gems we found. Does somebody write that down?
I have one ruby worth about 20 gold that we plucked out of the chandelier.
Okay, cool. So should we head back towards the stairs and take it to the end of the hall and see if there's anything in that door down there?
Until we find the key, seems it would make sense to be as thorough as we can.
Do you think there's a reason Dalton would have taken less of the gems? I have written down that there are 6 of them.
Oh, yeah, no reason he wouldn't have, gone to pluck them all out. I may have misheard, or had my notes wrong.
You guys know how many you have between you?
I didn't take any, so we'll just count whoever is having like them or however you guys want to do it, and then we'll sort it all out later.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at my inventory sheet. I have 2 in mine, so I think I did take all 6. I just split them up to a piece.
Yeah,
That
because
makes
I
more sense.
see. I also have 2. I've written it from Pythoness house, worth 20 gold each.
Yeah, so I just forgot. I just didn't put this that there were 6 of them in my notes. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, so heading back out into that area, like that whole corridor is kind of decorated by like old paintings that kind of hang on the wall. Um, Many of them are damaged. All of them have some sort of like mold growing on them, spider webs across them. Uh, Most of them are effectively like ravaged by time. As I say that, I see they seem almost disturbingly untouched by the ravages of time. So my apologies there. They seem almost perfect.
So can I kind of just like put my finger under one of them and just lift it up a couple inches and see like does it fall off the wall and does it look suspect?
Um, I think it would be safe to say a lot of these would be like tapestries. So you could certainly lift them away from the wall. I don't think they would be framed in kind of the normal way. But you could roll like a perception or investigation as you like go over them and try to investigate them.
Yeah, that works. I'll just kind of like grab the corners and like kind of peek under them and see. It's a 6.
Yeah, so as you're kind of like looking over them, there's not too much for you guys to see as far as the or at least not too much for you to see as you're kind of going over them. Um all of you though are going to see as a figure wearing like a red cloak just seems to like walk by behind you all, almost out of that dining hall, and kind of past you. Um, and without even like going to the stairs, they seem to disappear. So almost as if they walk like from where Jinx's token is right now to where like Dalton is, and then they're gone.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I hate this place.
Did I do that? Messing with these tapestries? Should we follow it?
You want to try to like duplicate what you did with the tapestries? You can roll another investigation.
I don't know. Should I touch this? Should I do it again?
Well, seem to come from behind us. So if you want to, I'll try and keep an eye on the dining room.
All right, so I do it again and I get a 16 this time.
This time, as you're like lifting the tapestry, you're looking less at it and more kind of at your environment around you. And you almost notice like the painting of this person who's like the centerpiece of the tapestry. You like can see their eyes follow you as they almost are looking down as you lift them up, because they're like, in silhouette where they would almost be looking out at you before. As you lift up the base of the tapestry, this person's eyes follow you as they kind of like look down, and then when you set it back into place, they're looking out at you again.
All right, that's really creepy. Uh, let's keep moving unless y'all have something else to do around here.
I don't like the idea of them looking at us. Creeps me out almost as much as those weird dolls did. There's no way to. Dalton's going to kind of. He wants to see, is there a way to essentially try to turn the tapestry so they're not looking out, they're looking at the wall?
I don't know how people normally would hang tapestries. I would say it is in essence like you could take them down. I don't really know how tapestries are normally hung, if there is like a string that you could double over on itself. So I'm just gonna say it would be an effort of taking them down kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Dalton would take a minute or two to do that.
And did we notice when the figure like came out? Was there like previously a figure on that tapestry and then it was like gone, or does it just seem like that was a coincidence?
No, the figure you guys saw came through the doorway and like walked towards those stairs almost. The tapestry and the figure were two different things.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
What are Jinx and Malchin doing as Dalton kind of goes around this hall and starts to like remove these tapestries? And among other things, I should say, Malchin, with your perception, once Jinx brings it up, you cannot help but notice that every single one of the tapestries in this hallway is staring at you. No matter where you've stood, they're staring at you.
That I would just fuck. Yes, I really wish you hadn't told me that. Ah,
Essentially, you guys just help Dalton get all the tapestries down.
yeah. I mean, Marshall would help. He would want to get away from all those tapestries looking at him. Helps. It's gonna do.
Jinx is just gonna smoke. He's creeped out, so he doesn't want to go near those things. Simple solution, really. If you just don't look at them, you don't even know they're looking at you.
I wish I
As
could.
he's go on.
Wish it were that easy.
Much, and as Jinx starts to say that, you hear thunk, 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 as a head slowly like rolls down the cast iron staircase from the level above down to level where you guys are at, and it kind of like stops on the stone, almost on the stump of its neck, and it too is staring at you, and then disappears.
Yeah, he's just gonna give a shudder at that, and it's like, oh, I fucking hate this house.
Dalton's gonna look towards Jinx smoking, and maybe we should just burn the damn things. Then they can't look at us anymore, right?
I suppose. I'm not really sure how like curses and all that necessarily work, but I don't know if they're like trapped inside an item if we destroy it, if it like frees them or I don't even know who them is. So
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm not totally comfortable lighting things on fire in a building we're still inside and can't get out of. Things starts getting really dangerous with fire. I don't want to be here.
Hadn't thought of that, but that's a good point there, Melton. We just leave them looking down for now. We check out that room though, and he'll gesture towards the end of the hall.
You can head down there and find it seems to be locked.
Melchin, fancy giving it a go. See if those lessons have paid off.
Ah, yeah, I can give it a try.
So I think you're equipped, and we just don't have you proficient yet, right?
That's right. So it's just a straight dexterity roll.
hey, so I'm gonna tap Melchin on the shoulder and I'm gonna say, "You got this. Don't worry about when you failed in the past. You got this." And I'm gonna give him inspiration on this roll.
Let's see. What's the inspiration? It's a D6 or D8.
You could do it either way. You could either right, Kira?
Well, I think he's asking what is your bardic inspiration versus if he used his inspiration now, it would be a d6.
Oh no, not bardic inspiration, regular inspiration. I was like giving him my regular inspiration. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he's inspired then. So yeah, if you're not doing anything, I'm pretty sure all of you were already inspired. Can't really give it to somebody who has it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, my bad.
Does 17 feel good enough, or would you like to add a d6 burning your inspiration?
fuck it. I'll add my D6. Burn my inspiration. Better use it.
Good job. So you kind of like start to manipulate the lock, and there's like a few moments that kind of like go by where you're starting to feel the tension on the little bobble, and you think you've got the five little sliders in place, and you're about to kind of like really put the force into trying to turn the lock, where you kind of like really put everything on the line there. And before you go, you kind of think to yourself to just make sure to check and see that there's not like a trickier sixth. And you do find one more. And with a little bit of a manipulation, you hear one more pop. The tension is released, and you can open the door.
Yeah, with that mushroom, we go. Oh, oh hell! I honestly didn't think that would work. Uh,
So, when you open the door, you can see a small little like guard tower kind of thing. You're still kind of below the like gate level. I believe it was on the third level that it kind of like arched over, where those rat folk were like throwing things down at you. And you can basically see out of the Pythoness house, like to the south, through that little arrow slit. And then there is a deteriorated old ladder that seems to lead up to the ceiling and kind of betray that there is a trap door to the level up above you.
Well, I suppose it's my turn. I didn't even go up in the last one, so I'll lead the way if y'all want.
Appreciate the offer, Jinx. Just be careful. That thing doesn't look like it's seen much care.
One of y'all better catch me if I fall. And I'll start walking up the ladder.
So as you climb the ladder, you find climbing. Did you not climb at all? But you climbed and fell before, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I think I fell like right away.
Yeah, I feel like everybody experienced that the climbing felt difficult before. So you very quickly kind of notice. Doesn't feel like anything's resisting you this time. There's nothing riding heavy on your shoulders that feels like it's trying to like throw you down to the ground. And you climb up to the next level with little to no difficulty. And when you get up to the next level, you kind of see as you're overlooking. Do you have light on you?
Yeah, I have the light cantrip, so I would just keep lit up. Oh wait, do I? Do I have it with me? Yeah, yeah, I have light. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So as you kind of go up, you can kind of like lift the door up above you, and kind of see that there is like a basically like a trap door into the floor here. And there's another small room on this next level, with another little arrow slit effectively behind you to the south. And there's a door to your left that seems to lead. Um, all of you would be basically familiar that you're in the gatehouse right now, and that door probably leads to the walkway where Malchin likely described that the rat folk were attacking him from. Um, and as you get up there, you're going to kind of see as you like look around, like cobwebs and spider webs all around that area. And then in a flash, there's a figure who like slashes across your throat with a spear and kind of like cuts across. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
So it is a 4 total.
Excellent. So as you kind of almost like kind of like jump in a start, uh and worry about whether you're like being attacked, it's going to probably become not your problem. As you guys from below see Jinx almost like jump for a moment, like while he's still on the ladder, and almost like lose. Oh shit, my bad. It's a charisma saving throw. What does your modifier do when it's charisma? Might not be big enough, but
So with my charisma, it would go from +0 to +7. So it would be an 11 total with charisma.
aha, 9 was the magic number. Yeah, so you guys are gonna see as Jinx kind of like gets up to the top, moves the trapdoor out of the way, and Jinx kind of like looks around for a moment and almost like stumbles at the top as he kind of like jumps a little bit. And then you're just gonna see Jinx kind of like gain his composure and kind of like look around and all clear up here. You guys can come up.
Um, yeah, Dalton will, hearing that from Jinx, he'll look to glance to Melch and then, all right, I'll head up next. And he will start to climb.
Gotcha. When Dalton gets near the top here, Jinx, I would like you to roll a strength acrobatics to push Dalton off of the ladder and down on top of Malchin, please. And Dalton, if you would like, you can try to resist with a acrobatics or a athletics. Of course, you roll a 3.
Ooh, I was going to go acrobatics. Essentially try to like maybe like take one hand off the ladder and just like kind of dodge out of the way that way. So that would be a 7 total.
So I think you guys are all still inspired, but Malchin can gain inspiration from that one. Um, but just for the sake of the comedy here, even if Jinx's doesn't total a greater than 7, I'm sticking to the one that's going to fail here.
Oh, well,
That's the
acrobatics, I'll
like
be 9
background.
total. So
Well, yours should have been athletics though, because you're the aggressor.
oh, okay. Athletics, I will be 2.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick to the idea that the nat one is gonna be a fail state regardless, because it's effectively like attacking. Um, But yeah, the idea being here that Dalton, as you get to the top after Jinx kind of gives you an all clear, you immediately are like pushed back by him. He might not even have actually hit you, but your like reaction to kind of leap away, you leap off of the ladder, and are gonna fall back down. And take 5 bludgeoning damage. Malchin, if there is a falling Dalton, what do you think you would do?
To be honest, I think Marshall would just try to get away.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think without any problem you can kind of get out of that way there. But yeah. Um, so as soon as he kind of like pushes you from above, you guys are going to see is like some loose stones are about to start to fling down this corridor. Um, for what it's worth, that's the next turn. Um, let's go for how are you guys reacting as Jinx kind of does this? Dalton, you're probably prone on the ground at the base of the ladder. Malchin, do you want to charge up the ladder and kill Jinx for his treachery? What are you thinking?
No, I probably just ask Dalton first, like, "You okay?" And or like ask him, shut it up to you. What the hell was that for?
And yeah, I think Dalton is probably like kind of like he landed hard. He's kind of like rolling onto his side away from the opening, and similarly, he's like looking up and yeah, kind of essentially asking the same thing, like Jinx, what the hell? And then trying to get to his feet, clearly bruised a bit.
And what's going through my mind? Like, do I realize that I like pushed him or like assisted in his fall, or
You're essentially thrown immediately back into kind of a moment of you are a witness in your own body. Um, let's see. Um, Malchin and Dalton, let me get a persuasion check from you two.
15 for Malshin.
And 17. No, 18. Sorry for Dalton.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you guys are just gonna hear from Jinx. You fools! This castle is mine! You'll never take it with me alive! And he's going to kind of like reach over and out of view, and you're gonna watch as like a stone like comes flying, and it almost like turns above the ladder and soars down towards you guys. It's gonna be at Malchin. Gonna do a nat one. So it just blasts into like the side of the guard tower above you guys as it kind of like rounds the edge, and it just kind of disintegrates. So you guys have like sand kind of raining down from above you. Um, I'm gonna say you can divert your eyes and lose sight of Jinx, or make a Constitution saving throw versus being blinded by the sand.
I think Dalton would instinctively, yeah, like kind of raise his hand and kind of try to shield his face.
What do you think Malchin's doing?
Yeah, I think he would try to keep an eye on Jinx, so I'm gonna roll here. Let's see.
Do the con.
That's
Gotcha. Yeah, you're good.
15.
He's again kind of attacked you. Do you want to move up and try to attack Jinx? Do you want to try to reason with him again? Do you guys have another path forward? Any thoughts?
Dalton's gonna look towards Malchin, whatever that is. That's not Jinx, and I think Dalton is going to kind of risking a look up again. Is going to throw out his hand, and he's going to try to put Jinx to sleep.
I don't. Do you need sight with sleep? Because you can't see him this turn. You've diverted your eyes for this turn.
It's creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range.
Yeah, if you don't need to see it, like you can cast it without any problem.
Yeah, so I'll do that. Essentially, like aiming up at a point, like the up in the
Up at
above
the
the triangle.
ceiling to make it
Yeah,
as far away from you guys as possible. Because
yeah.
it's probably, I think this is still 12-foot ceilings here. So, um, yeah, roll the d8. And what's everybody's hit points at right now?
I have 40 with Jinx.
Okay, I'm at 15.
Yeah, I'm at 19. Holy shit.
Yeah, nope, that's not gonna do it. It's 15.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think you guys are in a big risk of actually putting yourself to sleep. So as far as things go, I think you kind of put it out there and just notice that it doesn't seem to affect Jinx. Any thoughts from Malchin?
Yeah, I think Malshin would like try to rush up this and like rush climbing up the stairs and try to wrestle down Jinx.
Gotcha. So it'll take most of your movement to actually get up there, but he's right at the top of the stairs anyway, or the top of the ladder. But you as well now will kind of notice well, actually, now all three of you have experienced climbing without any kind of resistance to it. But you're just hoping to grapple him, You can do a strength athletics, and Jinx, you can do a acrobatics.
So that is 17 for Alshin.
12 for Jinx.
Gotcha. So you've got him grappled. Effectively, you're holding him. That is an attack action. You can still, if you would like to, like stab or like cut him with your scimitar. You could punch him in the face. You know, you have your extra attack after doing an attack action. You could throw him down the ladder towards Dalton. You know what I mean? You still have at least half of your attack action if you would like.
Yeah, he's gonna like say, "Sorry about this, Yanks," and like try to like throw him down the ladder, hoping that maybe getting him down will help.
Um, yeah, I think just do a dexterity saving throw for me, Jinx.
It is a 10 total.
Yeah, you like whip him down from above, and kind of at the last minute, you see as Jinx kind of like reaches out and like almost misses like one rung, but grabs another. There's a horrific kind of like creaking and like shriek from the ladder as Jinx kind of like catches himself and basically prevents himself from actually like impacting the ground below. Um, take 3 bludgeoning for me, Jinx. Uh, and then it's my castle, and it's time for you to go. And you guys are going to see as Jinx's face just like distorts and like changes as it like shrivels and almost like all of the kind of like liquid almost like seeps from it. And you just see this almost like skeletal visage kind of come forward. Let me get a wisdom saving throw from Dalton as well as Malchin.
All right, I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Yeah, I got a total of 21.
That'll be a 14 for me.
Gotcha. So as you guys see this like ghostly face kind of like seep out of Jinx's, this is the first moment where you recognize truly Jinx is currently possessed. What are you guys going to do to get this possessing creature out of your friend?
Nelson, you got any of that holy water left? Dalton used his, but
No, I used mine. I've already used mine on the vampire dude.
I don't think we got a choice then. And Dalton is, I think Dalton he can't think of a way to do anything. I think he's thinking we're just gonna have to knock Jinx out and maybe hope that's enough. I think he's going to grab his rapier and move to strike.
Did you roll that attack, Dalton?
Oh no, sorry, I wasn't sure if we were going into initiative or.
Oh no, no, you guys are good. You guys have been essentially in initiative.
Gotcha. I have a feeling that's going to miss you, Jinx. That would be an 11 to hit. Or
Yeah,
no, actually,
I'm 14 total.
Yeah, so that'll miss.
How about for Malchin? You're now on the upper level, kind of looking down at them. Heading back down?
Yeah, heading back down and yeah. Sorry, Ying's gonna take a swing at you. Nat 20. So that is what? 5 plus, so 15 damage?
Is 40 hit points at your full hit point, or are you missing any hit points with Jinx?
Well, I have 44, but then after everything that's just happened, I'm at 37 before this damage.
Gotcha.
That would
So
change.
you could apply. Oh yeah, right. You already
Oh,
lost those 3 anyways. So you could apply your extra damage as well.
so that is 7. Does that get credit as well then? Or
Um, I'm hesitant to continue with that style because I think it's getting dropped out. Um, but we could go for that in this case here. And what is that if that gets doubled?
then it would be 7 plus 8, so 15. But I think that once per turn we hit the creature,
Yeah, see, we're
it
not
takes
really doing
extra.
the double. Kind of what I've been doing with crit is that you do the max damage and then you roll damage normal. So yeah, my bad. Ignore that. What is it if you've got the D8 from the scimitar as maxed, and then what did you roll? The
Yeah,
7 will
that's
make it
listen.
15.
That's why it got to 15 because it's the D8 plus 7. So like 8 plus 7. That's
But what
15.
did you roll on its actual damage? Because that I'm talking about your ranger skill that lets you do extra damage to something that is injured. Hunter skill, or
Yeah, but that's the one I rolled now. That's the D8. The D6 I rolled before. I got 15 because that's the max
all
damage
right, so
plus
22
roll blow.
total.
Yeah. No, it
Okay.
15, right? So 30 total should be.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't think you should double the 7
Oh, okay. Now I get
because
it.
we've been doing crits as you do the maximum for the weapon and then you roll the rest of the damage regular.
Okay, so yeah, now I get it. Sorry. Uh,
So wait, I took
So I
15.
think,
Is there more to put on there?
yeah, then it's
I think
22,
7
right?
more.
Yeah, so 7 more.
So I think you should be at 15 right now.
Yeah, so now I'm at 15, and I'm obviously bloodied.
But 44 was your maximum hit points. Can you roll a D10, Malchin?
Oh fuck. Let's see. D10.
A 1?
Yeah, that's a 1.
You will drop Jinx to 0 hit points with that hit. Can you roll a D20?
Oh, sorry. Me or Yinks?
Gale again, or Malchin.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Alrighty. Jinx is going to pick up a lingering limp. Your speed on foot is going to be reduced by 5, and you must make a dexterity saving throw after using the dash action, or you fall prone. It doesn't even matter. Magical healing removes it. Every single one of these magical healing removes. But for now, you technically have a limp. As Malchin cuts you down, Jinx is going to go unconscious, and you all are going to see as kind of like a spectral blue, like mist, almost floats out of Jinx's body. Um, Just in time. Malchin, roll a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna use my inspiration with this one.
I think you just used it though. Oh, did you roll another one?
Oh no, wait. Yeah, no, sorry. I should. No, I don't have inspiration anymore. I didn't click it out. So I should only roll one. Nat 20 for a total of
Solid
19.
time. So you see as the mist kind of like goes inside of Malchin for a moment, and then it just seems to kind of almost like stick around like the outer like ebbs of his flesh before you guys is that an yeah. So you see as like this kind of spectral mist is kind of lingering between the three of you. Jinx is unconscious on the ground. Dalton and Malchin, the two of you are still conscious. What are you all thinking here?
I think Dalton's like gonna seeing this thing kind of come out of Jinx as Jinx goes down, and hearing what it said before, he's gonna like shout at it. We've been trying to get the hells out of here. There's been blocking our way. All I want to do is leave. He is, and I think he's kind of like essentially kind of like backing away. This is a small room, but he's essentially taking the dodge action.
If you want to turn that into a persuasion check, you can have advantage, but you can't dodge and make it a persuasion.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll go ahead and make it a persuasion. Um, and then if I have expertise, do I roll 2 proficiency die or just double whatever the one I roll is?
Would be a second proficiency die.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so that'd be a 27.
Gotcha. What is Malchin doing?
Yeah, probably after seeing like Jinx get knocked out with my previous hit, he's gonna panic a bit. Oh fuck, Jinx! Hold on and cast. What's it called? Cure wounds at first level on Jinx.
Gotcha. So as you go to heal Jinx, and as Dalton kind of goes to like appeal to this ghostly figure, you basically see as it kind of like almost turns to Dalton and taking more of like a humanoid form. It seems to kind of make eye contact with you, Dalton, and you like see through it, like Mouchin's behind, and you see as this figure like slowly becomes more humanoid until you can see like mid 30s human who stands almost 6 foot tall, has kind of a regal, like beautiful set of armor on, and he kind of looks to you and I have long been interred. I mistook you for the cult. Was perverted this place. My mistake. My apologies. I'm prone to outbursts of anger. It is the crutch I must bear. My sin. But with that, Jinx, you are healed for whatever Machin just healed you for, and you are back to consciousness of your own volition.
That would be 8 points of healing.
And reaches out a hand towards Dalton and like goes to say, "Tell now." And then he kind of like looks down at his hand, like recognizing that there's like nothing there, and he kind of like bows his head a little bit as his hand withdraws.
I think Dalton's going to he'll probably like shrink away a little bit, still leery, um, but it seeing it doesn't seem to be kind of like going for them anymore, and Dalton's going to kind of very shakily reply, "So we were the cult, but you were the cult." What's long interred? He said, what brought you back, so to speak?
I lingered to guard the gatehouse. I have been here for ages of men. Um, on some level, like picking out like the actual like year from you guys, you can kind of come to the conclusion. Tanal kind of like looks over things and nearly 200 years ago, I died in a raid protecting this home. I watched as it was turned from a brothel into the cult. So the cult was white. And he's just kind of almost just like nostalgic, kind of like flowing over memories of hundreds of years, and little pieces of them kind of come forward.
And are you confined to this place? And he'll kind of gesture up towards the like I guess around in the guardhouse.
I have my space. I walk up and down this tower, across to the other, and up and down the other tower. It basically describes he can go between the two gate houses, and he can look over the actual gate entryway. But those are like the areas that he seems compelled to be in. I don't think he would necessarily say it as kind of a thing where like he can or can't go places. But you can basically like pick up like his spirit is attached to the gatehouse.
Gotcha.
Maybe even with a statement where he kind of like describes like at some time when the cult was really like at its height, he kind of has something along the lines of, "It has always been my deepest call to protect this house from evildoers. But I lament the cult was brought in under false pretenses. I was not able to keep them at the gate." And that's how like you might pick up like realistically he might try to guard the place, and that might be why his ghost is stuck here. But he also can't like leave this place to go further. So like somebody bringing the cult in, instead of the cult invading, almost like completely bypassed him.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. So Dom's going to look towards Jinx and Malchin if they have questions.
How much do I like recall of that activities that just took place?
Again, you were almost like watching yourself be puppeted kind of thing. You were inside experiencing it all. You just like didn't feel of like it was your own volition. Like hearing your mouth say things that you were not saying, watching your body do things to your friends that you did not wish to be done.
Um, so I guess Dalton's also going to ask uh, after we came through the main gate, there seemed to be some sort of force preventing our egress again. Was that you?
Alas, no, I try to protect the gatehouse, try to defend the ancestral home of, I can't think of the actual person whose home it is, but he says their name. Um, and he basically will kind of finish with like, another spirit inhabits this place. It guards what lies below.
So Dalton will look slightly disappointed at the answer, but then he'll nod and given all the terrible visions we've been seeing, makes sense. What does lie below?
In my time, there was nothing. But I know things have changed in these hundreds of years. There's parts of the keep that are gone, and new construction has replaced them. The cult has turned this place into a place of evil. The family he originally would have worked for is the Colodus family. Not necessarily important, only he would have actually said their name when he talked about like why he was protecting this place. He was essentially a cleric in the employ of the Colodus family. Potentially even describing when one of them lost it some like 80 or so years ago to the person who originally opened it as a brothel. Does anybody have any other questions or thoughts? Do you have anything that you want to do before you leave this thing? Do you guys want to kill it?
I think Dalton will ask. I know your focus now is on this guard tower, but back in your prime, I suppose. Can you tell us what was on the level above us? We've not been up there yet, but it sounds like perhaps the true threat is below.
I mean, up above, it can kind of describe that there's more living quarters. There's an open air garden. Um, and like the master kind of bedroom of the keep is on the highest level. But again, it's more one of those things like he's bound here. He doesn't know what is there now. He can describe the place 190 years ago when he was alive.
Yeah, that's what he was asking. Yeah, like back in your day, what was up there? When you say below, do you mean uh, underground or
Yeah, effectively, it's below the keep.
okay? Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any other questions for Dalton. But he's fine. He would be fine with letting this thing continue its vigil.
Anything from Jinx or Malchin?
No, nothing from Marshall. He's just like staring wearily at the ghost spirit.
Perhaps the honorable thing to do be put it out of its misery. You want to be freed of this curse or duty, whatever it is?
Roll a persuasion. I
17.
don't. Got a plus 10? Damn. I don't know what my freedom would be. I've done horrible things and perhaps should stay behind to hold vigil over this, my lord's home, for what I did to that young woman. You would free me, then my last act would be to help those who would help me. And then, yes, free me this place. Though I don't think I deserve it. Um, who is actively bloodied right now? I know Jinx is getting like the highest level spell I can cast here, but who looks worse of Malchin and Dalton? I think both of you are probably bloodied, but are either of you like mortally wounded?
Dalton technically is not bloodied.
Actually, the same with Martian. I am a bit above blooded still.
With
And Jinx,
15 hit points? God,
I
that
rolled
fucking
very low with my.
gotcha. Yeah, that con thing from the chaos cults is crazy. Yeah. So I'm gonna do 21 points of healing for Jinx. And neither of you are even half. How many hit points are you each missing?
I'm 10 down.
Yeah, I'm 11 down.
Yeah, no reason to save him. So I'm gonna do for Dalton. You'll be at full Dalton, and then Malchin, 12 hit points. Will that put you at full?
Yeah, that puts me at full.
And then he'll kind of like kneel to you, Jinx.
We've all done wrong in our lives. And you seek a peace in death that none of us deserve. And I'll don't have much that actually would like do anything, so I guess I'll just like bop him over the head with my boomerang. I don't know much lore about how to like free a ghost of its like eternal curse.
All right. If you're going for physical damage, this is gonna take you quite some time as you're like trying to strike at like the wisps of this creature's being, clearly seemingly not doing much if any damage to it at all. And you guys just watch as Jinx is going to attack him for quite some time, until eventually the wisps just seem to kind of dissipate.
And each time I strike at him and do very little damage, I'll like say something crafty like, "I release you. You've been healed. Only in death does duty end." Until finally he dies.
Eventually, you just hear Jinx. Lothian be praised.
At least you couldn't. At least you couldn't feel all that. Dalton will quit after seeing kind of Jinx just like continuously smacking this spectral thing with like his boomerang. At least I hope he couldn't.
Screw that prick. Y'all two are pretty quick to turn on me, though. I'll keep that in mind in the future.
Well, it wasn't exactly you we were turning on, though, was it? And you did try to push me down those stairs.
Maybe. I don't know. It's all subjective. From where I was standing, it sure looked like you guys were mad.
Jinx may possibly be trying to use the Force right now and finding out that he does not have the ability to telekinetically move stuff.
I suppose that's like the equivalence of a out of body experience. I could see everything happening from like a third person perspective, but couldn't actually do anything about it. It did cut deep though when Malchin drove the rapier. I'll remember.
Did say I was sorry before I did it.
I wonder if that was the same spirit that was over on the other tower with like the book and everything. Should have asked him about that.
It doesn't seem the type. If I had to guess, I'd say that whatever other spirit he was talking about.
But you think maybe he was trying to stop us from touching or reading from the book? Like the book was something from the cult, but he was trying to prevent us from powering it or whatever?
suppose that's possible.
I mean, after we've seen in this place, I think pretty much anything's possible. Right? Maybe we should keep moving. Wouldn't mind having a look around up there, though, real quick.
Maybe one of us should go up first, just in case, Jinx.
In case what?
Well, you got possessed the last time you went up and attacked us, so
Hey, he's gone now. I'm fine. I'll just go up there, stubbornly.
Gotcha. So you go up again, kind of climbing up the ladder. You can open up the portion to where you can see the arrow slit that opens out to the south. You can see the door to the west of you. What would you like to do when you were up?
Oh, what's the thing in there? The like sideways T?
Oh, it's just the trapdoor.
Okay, I got you. I'll just like have a look around, like see if there's anything notable up there, and if not, I'll give the door a try.
Cobwebs and spider webs. Is anybody following him up there?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
no, go ahead.
yeah. Malsha would follow him up. He's feeling a bit guilty about how he knocked him out before. So yeah.
Dalton would follow after Malchin.
Gotcha. So by the time you guys all get up there, you probably have a sense of, I would say, I think these are crenulations where it's like actually visible, like sections to down below and to out front of the gatehouse, instead of just traditional arrow slits. No, it's one level above. My apologies. This is still like has a ceiling above it. So technically speaking, the rat folk were attacking Malchin from level 4 of this area. So yeah, this is just kind of a hallway across to the next room. You can see a door across the way. Um yeah. I think it's about 15 or so foot tall ceilings where you're at in here. Uh Narrow wooden table against one of the walls that you can kind of see is like on some level of like the guards can kind of hold it like that. Um there's an iron pot filled with caltrops in this area. Uh Rotten arrows, cobwebs, dust, crepid crossbows. Anything else that you are looking for? Do you want to kind of investigate slowly, or are you just kind of like walking around looking for a quick kind of answer?
Did the caltrops seem usable, or are they kind of like rusted and decrepit like the other stuff in here?
That might make them more effective. The caltrops effectively are iron, so I would say it's one of those things where they're certainly not like eaten away from rust. If you wanted to collect the caltrops, you could have 50 caltrops.
Yeah, might as well. He'll probably just take them in the if they're like in a pot or a bucket. He'll probably just carry the bucket itself or the pot.
Yeah, it says an iron pot. So I have a feeling that pot might weigh a good bit. Um,
Yeah, I guess he could empty the caltrops into a I don't think he has like a spare pouch with him, but like something like that instead of lugging around the whole thing. I don't know how much caltrops weigh actually.
caltrops weigh a tenth of a pound, so they should be 5 pounds with 50 of them
Oh, is that a tenth of a pound per caltrop or per bag of 20 caltrops?
per caltrop. It's 2 pounds per 20.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then an iron pot is 10 pounds. So you're looking at 25 pounds if you take them all. If you just dump them into something else, you've got the 5 pounds.
Yeah, I think he'll just take the caltrops then rather than the pot. He'll like dump them into a like a sack, maybe a compartment of his backpack.
So as you are kind of like exploring this area of the gatehouse, you guys hear, I must be.
So I'll just do like a quick search of the area. I'm assuming that we're not going to find any chaos keys up here, but I'll peruse.
Gotcha. Roll an investigation.
16 total.
Um, so you can spot that there is a similar trapdoor down on the western gatehouse, and then there's another ladder up on that same western gatehouse. But yeah, otherwise you guys kind of have everything that is to be found here.
I suppose down probably leads to where we've already been. We could give up a try, or I mean, we know where we need to go.
Yeah. Sorry, quick question, Mara. Was that the voice? Was that audible, or did it seem audible to us, or was it more
Audible,
like
yes.
within our head? Okay. Was there any sense of like was it coming from any particular direction that we could tell?
I'd say that falls into the disembodied.
Okay, gotcha. We want to take the trapdoor, or perhaps we should return and take the regular stairs. No, we haven't had much luck. There've been some nasty things waiting for us when we open those trapdoors.
Yeah, I'm for going back and taking the spiral staircase instead.
I mean, we're right here. It might not even lead to the same place. It'd be a shame if we went all the way back down there and the key was just through this last door.
If we don't find it, we can always return this way. But I'm with Malchin.
I'm gonna have a look real quick.
Just popping open the trapdoor.
Wait, does the trapdoor go down, or is there one down and up?
Down. I guess technically they're not as trapdoor-ish going up, but you found a trapdoor going down. Um, a lot because you guys have already seen one from the opposite side. But yeah, there's one up, one down.
So if I open the trapdoor that goes down real quick, does that lead to like is that the area we already went to?
That is a different guard tower. You could look down and see that the ladder leads down and into a room similar to what you've been in, but it's not one you've been into.
Okay, I got you. And then up, if I go up that ladder and open the little trapdoor, what do I see above there?
That one goes out open sky, and that's where there's like crenulated battlements, and you can kind of see the rest of the building from that point.
So I'll yell that back to him. Hey, I'm not sure if it's a way out, but it's at least some fresh air on the roof.
So from here, when you go out, you can actually see the open air gardens. Kind of outer. I can reveal a lot more than what I'm doing. My bad. All right. So from here, you can see that there's like a smaller tower built on top of that western tower. And you can you should be able to effectively remember that when you guys climbed up to the third level inside of that western tower, that was the peak of the tower. There was no higher to go. And you can now see that there are indeed at least 3 or 4 more stories that this like smaller tower that is set on top of it can climb up. There is a central tower that kind of like guards, like the exit onto like these open air gardens. You can see down into the courtyard below you. You can see the actual battlements of the like front gate. Um, and then what? There's another northwestern tower, crenulations of like an open air tower, maybe 2 or so stories above you. Um, but yeah, there's many more towers for you to come into, kind of recognizing. Like there's basically, I don't know how to show it to you without like revealing stuff, but there's basically like this tower here that you're looking at, and then there's another tower kind of offset behind it there, and then another tower like offset along this corner, that's in like the back corner there. Um, and then there's a walkway between like these 2 towers up above you, 2 levels. There's another tower that's like up above that one at like the highest level. And all of these are different construction than the original keep itself. You can see that, like, from this perspective, on top of the battlements, you can see that the original keep was 4 stories tall. Everything else, like above this 4th story, you can see the different kinds of masonry, the different kind of construction. Um, I think safe to kind of say is inside of 80 years ago when the family lost it. The Colotus family lost it, and 20 years ago when it became a brothel, and then within 10 years ago that it became a cult hide. That's all kind of like information you would have kind of picked up from the ghost that you guys could kind of recognize. Like this construction up here is all from those like last 80 years, if not even more recent.
So the main little tower that's like um west of us right now, with like you said that was like the end of it, and then there was a bunch of stuff built on top of that. Does it look like there's like a way that leads to it?
From where you're at, no.
But like, do I see like a little door or anything that you would like go in, or does it look like? Obviously, when we were coming at it from underneath, it looked like we had hit a dead end. So from where I'm at now, does it look like there's some way to access it? Access it?
Is the that walkway above? Is that what's leading to? Does that seem to lead to it?
I think that is the only possible connection for you to draw there. That on the sixth or so level of construction, that you'll be able to pass from the central tower to that newly constructed western tower.
And it's only 10 feet from where I'm at to the other one.
Yeah, that is correct.
So I'll just like yell back down to them. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get out this way, but there's definitely some stuff going on here. If I like move over to the south edge, and I like put my arm or hold my boomerang or whatever out, is there like a force wall there?
Apparently, no.
So can I just throw my crowbar off and see if it just keeps going?
As you throw your crowbar out, and it just kind of flies away into the open air there, you will all hear, "Come to me." But it seems like the crowbar can fly away without any problem.
I mean, it appears we could get out this way. Throw a rope over the edge and climb down, or I mean, we could come to that thing that probably wants to kill us. I guess.
Well, that's good to know there might be a way out, but don't we still want to see if we can find that key? Don will kind of call that back up from down below. That's what brought us here in the first place.
I mean, I would assume that the key is what leads to the creature that wants us to come down there and die. No.
Are we looking for the key for the chest?
Oh, I thought we were looking for the chaos key to like put in that statue to like do whatever the statue does.
Well, I think that from what I recall, we thought that maybe that was a way to, like, if we needed a key to do that, so that we could get out. Like, essentially, that would do something to that force field that seems to be blocking us. But the key to the chest was a whole separate thing. When I think.
Wait, what chest? I don't even remember a chest.
The one that we took from the ogres that we couldn't get open with the knock spell.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're talking about not the one that we have with us.
What chest do we have with us?
Or no, no, I just meant like it's not like here. There's not like a chest here that we're like looking for a key.
No, I don't think so.
So do we know a way down? Have we found a way down, or is everything lead up?
Um, like there's ladders in the tower you're in, the ladders that you guys came from.
Oh, I mean, like it sounded like from that spirit that where we need to go is down because that's where the like ghost demon thing is. Do we have an idea how to go down like below the first level yet?
Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Malchin, Dalton?
And I think that's all these much. I would think like that would be the KS's key, the statue. That seemed like it could move. If I remember right. Like a scratch mark on
The
the.
statue sliding is
Yeah.
probably the correct answer. That you guys have a feeling that if you unlock that statue with whatever that thing is, that's potentially what would be the way down.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, well, I think we should just pocket this area and then keep looking for the key. Before I go though, I want to throw it's an unlit torch, but I want to throw it from the tower I'm in across to the other tower, like 10 feet away.
Gotcha. Roll a dexterity check.
8 total.
I feel like you kind of like knock it off with some of the crenulations and it's just going to fall to the ground.
All right, I want to try one more time. I'm trying to land it on top of the big tower that's right there.
Over
That's
10, I
12.
think you can land it on the tower.
I could totally make that jump. All right, I'll go down.
So when you start to climb down, you are going to immediately notice that you feel a weight pressing down upon you. I need you to make an athletics check at disadvantage, please. Did you just double one? Okay, okay.
Athletics is -1, so it's a dirty 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, so as you go to like climb down without kind of letting it like sink in, you feel this pressure over you, kind of like pushing down. And the moment you start to slip, you just feel yourself almost like hurled at the ground. You're gonna take 5 bludgeoning damage as you fall off the ladder and are thrown to the level below. Do you figure that Mouchin and Dalton had waited effectively on this level for the return of Jinx?
Yeah, I think Dalton is just he's just probably like pacing the hallway a little bit, but otherwise staying down here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll a perception check for me. What is Mouchin doing?
yeah. I was gonna say like Mashon is gonna do the same basically, but just like keeping inside the guard tower where he is.
Gotcha.
That'll be a 16 on Dalton perception.
As you're pacing, you eventually kind of like feel a little bit of movement in the stone below you before you recognize that there's another secret uh stone piece here. There is a murder hole in the center of this for dropping things on people below. And you can kind of like lift that out of the way and see that there is a opening effectively in the center of the floor here.
So Dalton will kind of spotting that he'll kind of note that to Malchin. I assume at this point Jinx is still up top, and he'll probably Dalton will like get on his probably like hands and knees and like look down through the murder hole just to kind of see um, where it drops to, and try to make note of if we head back down there, try to make note of that it's this thing is here.
Roll a percentile for me.
67.
Excellent. You find it after having heard the come to me kind of come through. And when you like open it up and look through, you swear you feel somebody push you. But it's not enough that you're actually like pushed through.
Gotcha. So you might see like his hands will kind of like tense and they'll like brace against the stone, like as he's kind of like leaning there as he feels that pressure, and he'll then kind of like kind of scramble away a little bit quickly back to his feet.
But otherwise, I don't know if I explicitly said it. It's right above the gate entryway. So like there's just gateway below that.
Gotcha. Okay. He's more thinking like if we go down again, he just wants to remember that there's this, someone could come at it, or if like we're up here, and so he's just trying to kind of make note of it. But it's not big enough to like actually like for a person to go through, right? Like it's similar to an arrow slit. When you said like murder hole, I just thought like it's like a want to make sure I'm not
Yeah,
misinterpreting.
it's one of those things where I'd say that's what it's made for, is shooting through at people below you, dropping those caltrops, pouring oil through on attackers. And it's where I would say this is one of the places where, like, if you had medium or heavy armor on, you could disarm yourself and crawl through, but people in light armor could crawl through as well.
Okay, so it would be possible to like squeeze through if you had to. Okay, or try to at least, I should say.
So, otherwise, a few moments later, you all are going to kind of see as Jinx starts to come down the ladder from above and is going to fall to the floor here, those like 10 feet, before like slamming into the floor with a groan.
Jinx, you all right? Someone push you?
Oh, coming in hot. There's definitely some weird stuff going on here. I was better I didn't make the jump, but
Do we recall? Have we felt the pressure so far? Every time we felt the pressure, it's been pushing down, right?
You
Like
roll an intelligence.
I'm trying to recall, like if we felt any pressure, like when we've been trying to go down, keeping us up.
Does Jinx or Malchin have anything to respond to that?
I can only recall being pushed down, or at least.
see, it almost seems like something's trying to stop us from going higher. That's the weird thing.
Maybe trying to encourage us down instead. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, maybe it wants us to go down, but maybe it just wants us not to go up too. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? You'd think if this thing wants us to be fed on or feed on us, it would be telling us where the damn key is, right?
Maybe it doesn't know.
Or maybe it just can feed on us somehow by us dying inside the house. Being optimistic about everything.
Yeah, I suppose it's possible. I mean, we're right here. I'm gonna look down this trap door before we go.
Looking down the trap door in the western tower, the murder hole.
Oh, the one in the Western Tower I already like peeked through.
Gotcha. Yeah, that leads to just like the level below you guys into just kind of a tower room, a small little circular room. You want to climb down to it?
Yeah, I want to make sure the key's not here.
Roll in athletics at disadvantage.
16.
Gotcha. So you can climb down again. You feel that force pushing you down, like weight on your shoulders. But otherwise, as you kind of make it down there, doesn't uh feel like much. But you're kind of in another small room. Cobwebs all around you. Doesn't seem to be a door out of here.
Can I like? Is there anything to investigate around, or is it just nothing?
You could certainly roll an investigation or perception, depending on if you're feeling around for stuff. It's more investigation. If you're just looking around, it's more perception.
All right, I'm getting my hands dirty. I've got a dirty 20 total.
You find a secret door to the north of you in the stone that you can basically kind of like reach into this little like crevice and kind of like manipulate the face of this old damn, what's the like knightly kind of picture that like you wear on like your breast or like on your shield, the like banner. But it's basically like a little Lothian like lion, and you kind of just like manipulate the face and it kind of moves like a little bit up, and you hear like a little pop as the door kind of like slides open and cracks backward, and you can push it open if you would like.
Yeah, and which way is the secret door facing?
To the north.
Okay, I got you. So yeah, if I push it open, is that just back to where we already have been?
You're on this little like stone overlook where you guys walked into the Pythoness house. Like you're overlooking the entryway, but you're like 10 feet above the ground here. On that little spot. And there's just kind of like random stuff kind of like scattered about. There's some signs of like webs and whatnot more in the like inside section to like the lower left of you there, but you can kind of see like discarded fabric and things that are like scattered around this whole area.
But am I like free? Am I outside the force field now?
Do you want to walk somewhere and test it? Do you want to leap off of there and go somewhere? Do you remember where the force field was holding you in?
Yeah, yeah. I was picturing the force field was like the little split with like the orange, like room right there where there was like the gap. So it feels like I'm on the outside of it.
That was where you were stuck before.
So I'm just gonna yell to them, "Hey, y'all! I don't want to get too excited, but I'm pretty sure I found a way out. I mean, I think I'm out right now."
Is there some way you can test that? Anything lying around?
Oh, you said I'm only 10 feet off the ground right now?
My bad, 12 feet.
Yeah, I'll try to just jump down 12 feet.
So when you leap off of there, again, you feel as if you are thrown down at the ground. Force is added to it. You are going to take 6 damage, bludgeoning, as you fall to the ground.
I meant like throw a rock or something.
I'm pretty hard headed, so I guess I qualify. So I guess I'll just like see now. Can I walk around? Like, is it?
Where do you want to walk to? You know, I want to like walk out of cast iron gates at that front entrance.
Yeah, yeah. I'll go over and test the cast iron gates.
Seraph kind of walks out of the main gate area into like the high grass of like the gated in area of the house. My
Oh
bad, I
shit!
said Seraph
Sir,
and I
what are
meant
you doing
Jinx.
there? So yeah, I guess like I feel like we confirmed that that's the way out. Not sure how I'm gonna get back in, but
You want to walk through back through the entryway?
yeah, yeah. I'll just try to go back in.
So you can walk through that with no problem. You want to walk through over here?
I think I'll go back the way I came if I can.
There's no like simple way up, but you could do an athletics check to try to climb back up those 12 feet, and it would be a disadvantage.
Can I try to do like some parkour and use acrobatics?
What are you gonna do? What's your idea?
Oh, like that wall that's kind of on like the west of me. Can I get like a little bit of a running start and like kind of like wall walk up and then jump to like grab the ledge and pull myself up?
Gotcha. You can go for an acrobatics at disadvantage. Mountain, what are you currently doing, good sir?
Guess I'm still like up in the walkway with the murder hole now, like waiting.
Like looking through the murder hole?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, looking through the murder hole and looking down.
Gotcha. So at some point, like you're looking through the murder hole and you watch as like Jinx walks out and then Jinx like walks back in and you see just up above you, like corner of your eye, but like above your like forehead level, as somebody walks forward with this massive not bucket, pot of hot oil and pours it down through the murder hole right on top of Jinx. And when it should hit and start to burn Jinx, disappears.
Yeah, I mean, Martian would have just like on reflex, like shouted at Jinx, like "Watch out!" as he sees it, but then he just like as it disappears, like, ah, fuck, I hate this house.
And it's 11 total.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can climb up with, it's with difficulty. You still feel something is pushing you downward, and resisting your efforts to like run up that wall and climb up to the higher level. But you do manage to get yourself on the ledge and push yourself all the way up.
And I'll just do whatever I have to do to get back to where they're at.
I think one more athletics disadvantage to climb the ladder to the next level.
It's 6.
You're gonna fall off the ladder again, taking 4 bludgeoning damage.
And I'll try again with a 10.
Next time is no problem at all. You're able to get up to this 3rd level where they are.
I mean, it was a journey, but I mean, we could leave if we wanted to right now. Just leave on out of here.
Now that we know we can, we just keep looking around a bit longer.
And as far as the force, it was I could feel it for sure. Whenever I was going down, I felt like I was being pushed off. And whenever I was trying to come up, felt like I was being pushed back down. So whatever it is, it seems like it's trying to stop us from going up or make us go down, which I guess is sort of the same thing.
Imagine you feel as somebody almost like runs their fingers through like the gills at the side of your neck, and then in the ear of that side of your head, you hear, "Nobody can leave this place alive."
Yeah, Martian would like visibly shudder at that. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, whatever it is with this damned house, and really doesn't want us to leave her alive, at least. Oh, fuck.
Well, it seems like we're going to need the key to get down and deal with that thing, whatever it is, if we have to. So I'd say we get back to looking.
Can I just like yell out to this like voice that we keep hearing?
You can definitely yell.
I'm just gonna ask it. Hey, where's the key? See if it responds. The key to chaos or the chaos key, whatever it is.
How loud do you yell?
Like pretty loud. I mean, like I would say out of 10, I would go with like an 8.
You like looking through the arrow slits like over the courtyard? Are you just in one of are like you guys in the positions you're currently in now?
Um, I would say I would just be like kind of in the middle area, kind of just opposite of where Dalton's at.
Gotcha,
Yep.
but just otherwise to the keep itself. I'd say you yell and don't really get a response.
All right, it was worth a try. Where are we going?
To the spiral staircase then?
Dalton nods in agreement with that.
You notice when Jinx left, he like didn't look that bad, and now he's like so bloodied. You're like, what's wrong with this dude?
So Malchin climbing down the stairs for the ladder first. Athletics disadvantage. And then Dalton athletics disadvantage. And Jinx athletics disadvantage.
Yeah, Dalton would wait until like if Malchin falls, like for him to get out of the way, so that if he falls, he's not going to fall right on top of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just trying to expedite the process at this point.
Yeah, Malshin got a 13 total.
No problem there.
Yeah, Dalton's a 3.
Looks 3. So Dalton's gonna fall. You'll take 5 damage, and Jinx, you got the 4 or 3.
Yeah, 3.
You're gonna take 4 damage as you fall as well. And again, everybody feels the pressure from above. Something is pushing down on you. And when you do start to free fall, you feel almost as if you are thrown downward.
Mind if we take a quick like 5-minute break before we?
Oh no,
continue?
100%. I'm definitely good with that.
All right, thanks. I'm trying to think if there's any way we can try to like negate the that falling, but I can't think of any way. Like rigging up something, but
Yeah, no clue. The only thing's going through my head every time someone's going down a ladder is under pressure, pushing down on me. That's in my head constantly.
Under pressure.
yeah, that makes me think of Free Fall by Tom Petty.
I mean, that fits pretty well as well when we fail. Free falling.
I wonder if those gloves that Jinx found could help.
So we haven't actually ever been attacked like this whole time, just randomly. So we've only really had like effects when we were going down or trying to like climb up or jump down or jump up or whatever. And then like while we were exploring. So how do you guys feel about trying to get in a short rest?
I mean, I'm pretty good right now. Got healed by the ghost, and yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the kind of place where we want to spend any more time than we absolutely have to. Like while still continuing to search, but
I
I
would say
don't
the
know.
real question is does Jinx need a short rest?
I mean, I have 10 hit points, 1 bardic inspiration, and 1 spell slot from each level.
But bards, I don't think regains. Do we Do bards get spell slots back on a short
I
rest?
think the point is he doesn't have the spell slots to heal himself, and he wants hit points. And you guys would gain back inspirations.
I mean, I guess we could try. Melcher, what do you think?
I mean, I feel fine right now, so if you want to take a rest, I could like keep an eye out.
I mean, I feel like worst case scenario, we get a random encounter. Best case scenario, we get a short rest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking from like a character perspective. Dalton doesn't want to just like this place freaks him out. So
I mean, we could just leave then. If you don't want to rest here, we could just leave and then go rest in the street or at a bar or something. I mean, we found a way out. Or we could try, see what happens. I mean, I have 10 hit points, so I can just heal myself, and then if any of you guys go down or anything, like, I'll just drag your bodies out of here.
well, you keep going off on your own. Maybe that's why you keep showing, and you show back up bloodied as hell.
Well, I mean, I was doing pretty good until you guys decided to stab me and stuff. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about where I lost most of my hit points, it wasn't from falling. Matter of fact, I remember we were about 5 minutes into this place and you were about dead, Dalton. Pretty sure I saved your life once already.
Yeah, fine. Let's just take a short rest then, Jakes.
I mean, have I ever asked even once for us to take a short rest without literally being nearly dead?
Yeah,
Where do you
fine.
guys want to try to rest at?
Just sit here in the corner of the hallway. Got a pretty good outlook here, as long as nothing comes out of the walls.
You think you guys would rest essentially in those positions where, like, Jinx, you're inside of the little tower, Dalton and Malchin are on the outside?
No, I'll come right over here.
Gotcha. Are you playing a song of rest?
I don't think so because I don't want to push our luck with like an extra like volume, situation.
Yeah, and Malsham won't actually like take a short rest. He will like keep watch, just like making sure that
Short
nothing's.
resting doesn't stop you from watching, so
Yeah, I mean, it's just like from role playing, it's just he's taking a watch. Mechanically, I don't gain anything from the short rest.
gotcha.
Full health, I got nothing for short rest.
So are you staying in the corner with them, or are you kind of moving around?
I think I would like move around a little bit, like up to the hallway, like.
Roll a perception for me. Few minutes into the arrest, Machin, you hear the claws of little tiny creatures with tiny little paws clawing their way down cast iron. You have a few moments to react. You have rats incoming. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I gotta shout to the others. Got rats incoming. and I think I'm going to take position by the uh, cast iron stairs. Head them off.
Gotcha. Fend them off right at the stairs.
Yeah.
Machin, roll initiative.
18 initiative.
What would you like to do as you see first a swarm of tiny little rats, and then in the swarm you can see a couple of larger rats higher up on the stairs? What would you like to do?
I think I would like concentrate on the swarm for the first attacks, at least on my first round. Try to get rid of the swarm as best as I can. See, 12, 16 to hit, or 10 damage.
Solid hit.
Oh, let's see, that's 4, 7, 11 to hit. Does that hit?
11 hits as well.
Then that would be 9, and then let's see, plus 8. It's 9, 16 damage.
17 more. Oh, 16.
Yeah. And then bonus
And the
action.
first one was for 10.
Yeah. 26 damage.
Gotcha. Are you doing anything with your bonus action? Was it stabbing out at the rats as well?
Yeah, that would just be it.
Gotcha. So yeah, between the slashes and then your stab, you're going to basically be able to kill off the majority of the actual swarming rats. Effectively, that is dead. What are the other two of you doing as he calls out that rats are incoming?
So I think Dalton's moving forward. Can I attempt to would I be able to try to essentially use heat metal on the staircase, or is that too big? It just says like choose a metal object, but it doesn't say how big. But obviously, there has to be some sort of size limit, I would think. So I'm just not sure.
I would think it's normally going to be a smaller kind of object, the size of armor or a weapon. So I'd say it's almost like a stair kind of thing. So it would be like an individual stair. I don't
Okay.
think it would be a staircase.
Yeah. Okay. And then these other rats coming down the stairs, can we actually see them or just hear them at this point? Given it's like a spiral staircase.
So the way I figure the spiral is showing is one side is where you can see coming through the floor up above, like 3/4 or like half of it then is where it's like crossing the threshold of the floor, and 1/4 of that is crossing down below the floor kind of thing. So I think, you know, those two rats are perfectly visible there. And then those are the rats that are like kind of flowing out effectively onto the flat part of that square.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I think Dalton he's kind of running forward at Malchin's call. I think he's going to he's got a bolt loaded into his hand crossbow. He would have had that out kind of while we were resting, and he's going to take a shot at the um, the rat's coming down the stairs because the closest one, so probably the one to the right there. So it'd be an 11 to hit.
11's just gonna ping off of the like matted hair and like shit on the rat, and it almost just deflects the broadhead, as if it was just like a hard piece of polymer.
Oh, you know what? Actually, forgot to add my dexterity bonus to that. So it's a 14.
That'll hit.
Okay, and that would be for 9 damage. Sorry.
Solid hit, like into the throat. That rat is pretty close to dead. You can't survive with a wound like that for very long. Roll a d10 for me.
4.
The creature seems to kind of like hold where it is as it's like trying to um like go for that bolt, like stuck into it. You can kind of see it twitching. Effectively, that creature is stunned.
Gotcha. And that is all for Dalton.
What would you like to do, Jinx?
I'll just usher in some words of encouragement. Uh, Doing a great job, guys. Keep it up. I'll watch this door.
You can help without it changing your short rest.
Can I? I thought if I did anything during combat, it reset it.
Nope, it's fine.
If I can get view on one of them, well, I'll just do whatchamacallit, stinging words, cutting words.
Just the first one, the one he just shot.
Yeah, the injured one.
What'd you do? You did 9 with Dalton? I think it's dead automatically. Yeah, it'll die there. Uh, this sole surviving rat is going to charge down Dalton. Should get a hit with a 20 there, and it's gonna do 6 piercing damage. Will you roll a Constitution save for me, please?
It's a 9.
You got the disease.
I think that's the second time at least Dalton's had it. If that's just the same like rat disease.
Yeah, it's one of the same ones where as soon as you get magical healing, you're not going to have it. But at present, um, oh, that's actually kind of crazy. Yeah, at present, you are diseased. I don't think there's any reason to say this creature is going to last another turn. I think you guys can successfully kill it between your 5 attacks. The room seems to return to silence. Jinx, you would see as something like kind of like runs through that doorway to the hall off to your left, like through the hall, almost like something comes from Dalton, runs down through and up into that door, and kind of out of your sight. Just like the wisp of some human-like creature running through. Again, I think you guys should be getting kind of used to the fact that the house is constantly fucking with you. But otherwise, if you would like, you guys can finish a short rest. Regain any hit points. No song of rest So it'll just be whatever hit dice you would like to burn here.
And what about we had like gotten that spell before? Does that stay on our maximum when we heal back up, or is that gone?
Ooh, I was keeping track of time better on the first mission, and I don't know if I wrote it into my notes what time in the afternoon it was. Um, let's see. I've had 4 hours go by here. Um, you guys have probably about 2 more hours of aid.
Holy shit! It's the worst roll ever.
Oh, I don't think I ever actually applied aid. And that's 5 to 8 is to your actual HP max, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
Um, mm, Sometime later during the short rest, all of you are going to see a kind of like progression of cloaked figures in red as they kind of like carry a naked female towards those stairs. They're going to burn her alive. And you just kind of see right as they like douse her in flames, and then all of them disappear. And then at some point during the short rest, you all are going to hear chaos is key. That chaos is the key.
I don't suppose that means anything to either one of you. Chaos is the key.
I mean, we need to act chaotically, do something chaotic, but don't know what that would be.
Burn this place to the ground. I like Melton's idea.
Maybe there's some object that's meant to signify chaos. Something we just haven't found yet.
You could be on to something here. Not sure. I mean, the thing about the key is, if it's a physical thing, I'm pretty sure we'll know when we find it, right? I mean, it's got to be obvious.
I certainly hope so.
Wait a minute. How big was the actual slot again? It was like a VHS tape, or like a tape deck.
Um, yeah, I feel like a floppy disk is probably a solid way to say it, or like a CD. But
Okay, like
yes,
super skinny though. Okay, I got you. They, y'all found that book up there. Was it a big book? Is there any way that that could have fit into the slot? Like it wants that book, maybe?
I think 1-to-1 size wise, you could guess the book is too large.
Yeah, page or maybe a few pages from it might fit, but the book itself, I think, is probably too hefty.
Maybe it wants us to read it. I don't know. Let's just go up the stairs. None of my ideas are getting us anywhere. I'm just happy we got arrested. So I appreciate y'all watching my back.
What's the marching order as you guys go up the stairs?
If it's dark, I can go first because I have light. Otherwise, I don't really care.
I think Malchin would go first, if nothing else, because like I feel like he can take some damage, like and with the dark vision and everything.
And then if Jinx has the light, maybe then it makes sense to have Jinx kind of in the middle, so that he can give some light to Malchin, and then Dalton could follow.
Yeah, sounds
So,
good.
Jinx, or my bad, Machin, as you kind of round the stairs, I'm going to want you to, first off, roll a dexterity initiative. Um,
16.
actually going to get it there. As you kind of like round the corner at the top here, and there are going to be rats that kind of like leap out at you, and you are going to get assaulted right away. Among what you'll kind of notice initially, though, is you do pick up, even in the dim light before Jinx kind of gets high enough and starts casting light here, that there is an arrow slit in a few different places in this area. So it's for many purposes perfectly well lit for you to kind of spot what's going on here. And you can essentially see you've kind of like stumbled into another one of these rat dens where you have bones kind of scattered all over the place. You've got curtain that's kind of like mildewed over off to the northwestern end. And basically, there's a couple of larger rats and a swarm of smaller rats around you. But effectively, here, I'm going to get the jump on you, and they are going to start off assaulting Malchin.
Are we on the wrong map right now, or is it Theater of Mind?
Scroll to the right, maybe.
Oh, sick! I was just way zoomed in on that part we're at before.
The first rat's going after you have a 16 hit you, Malchin.
That misses.
One of the giant rats will have I think that's a 17.
That will hit.
For 4 piercing damage and a con save.
16.
That save's good. The second one should hit with a 21 for 6 piercing damage and another con save. And then I think the last one's going to miss with a 14.
18 con save.
So theoretically, we have Malchin at the top of the stairs as the rats kind of like swarm around you guys. I think actually, realistically, there's rats like underneath Malchin too. So Malchin, you're at the top of the stairs. You could easily break to here to kind of like clear the way. But on some level, you're basically kind of forced to break away from a creature and kind of leave that combat. But you could also always fight them before you do that to make space for Dalton to really get up there. But otherwise, Dalton is effectively down below in this position, kind of left of uh, Jinx. And you can probably only see like the one swarming around Malchin's feet from there. So if you wanted to start first, you could have Dalton attack the ones on Malchin, the actual swarm. Otherwise, you guys can, again, you've got shared initiative here, so however you would like to start. But technically speaking, right now, Dalton only has line of sight on the ones that are swarming around Malchin.
Yeah, I feel like Dalton would, seeing them start to swarm, would over Malchin would go to attack them. Are they? I'm behind Jinx, so I imagine this would be. I would have to essentially attack them from range.
I mean, you don't have to lead off the attack as part of things. But if you wanted to attack them here, you could attack from range, or you could attack with your weapon. But you're like they're in cover regardless because they're basically around the cast iron stairs from you. But you could easily stab some rats through cast iron stairs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. There's gap.
Might be a better defense if you called it slashing damage, but I think you're piercing anyway. So, but I mean, this is just kind of one of the general things. Like those are kind of two thoughts I was giving you based on the idea of whether you went first or last. There's you guys get to choose. I want that to be part of initiative is for you guys to try to be strategic and decide the order that you go in.
All right, then it probably makes sense for Malchin to go first because he's got the best chance of changing the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, try to attack something before moving out of the way.
Gotcha. So rats in general, not a terrible buttload of hit points, but the swarm does have the most as far as they go because there's a bunch of rats in the swarm. Do you have any thoughts on how you want to locate your attacks? Just
I
want
think
to go for the smaller rats?
I think I will actually go for the swarm of rats, like with my two main attacks, and then for one of the smaller ones, I think like the one west of me with my bonus action.
Gotcha. So if you want to roll those first two attacks,
Yeah, I'm like just gonna say this one. Like, I'm gonna put favored foe on the swarm of rats if I hit, like because it's from what if I hit someone, I can put it on, and that's a 1d4 extra attack. I'm just gonna roll that in as well. See, that's 15, 19 to hit for 9 damage.
excellent. Second attack,
That is, let's see, 9, 50, no, wait, no, wait, 9, 15, 19 to hit for 8, 13 damage.
gotcha. And then a stab on the rat to the west of you. Probably a miss.
Actually, let's see, 8, yeah, it's 12 to hit.
That is it. What's the damage?
5. I rolled a 1, so that's a 5 total. Then I am gonna take. That's gonna be an opportunity attack, but I'm gonna move like through the rats. Didn't mean to move the swarm of rats.
Gotcha. Just moving to that side. One of the rats is going to attack you. Should hit you for 4 and a con save, please. When you slash into the swarm, like first strike, you cut through them. Second strike, you cut through most all of them, and the swarm is going to start to break up. But as you like follow through with the second strike, you see like a small young girl who's like a young teenager, too young to be in this place. But that's kind of the problem of this place. And you slice across her throat, and she like grasps at the blood, like escaping through her throat. Before, by the time you're stabbing into the rat to your left, like in that response, she's already gone. And you can stab through that one, and again, oh wait, actually roll a d10 for me on that one to see how it does on system shock. That one is mortally wounded with the short sword attack, and it 5, I think that is stunned, yeah. So that one just kind of like almost is like gasping out as blood like shoots out of kind of an arterial wound. And you can kind of see as that rat is almost like twitching as it's stunned. But it can go to Jinx to clear the stairs, or you could get Dalton just moving across you in difficult terrain.
Yeah,
Okay.
just gonna say I rolled a 10 for my con save.
Gotcha, that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear the stairs, and I will do a vicious mockery on the wounded one.
It is going to save.
And then I guess Dalton, with the stairs free, will run up. And then he'd have to. I guess he'll stab out at the one to his north. If the one to his left seems like kind of like stunned for the moment, will as he kind of reaches the top of the stairs, he'll stab out at that one. And that should hit for 9 damage, 27 to hit.
Gotcha. Roll a d10. Jinx, where did you move to?
Wherever, whatever's like clear of the stairs. If I have to take an op attack or just be in combat, doesn't matter really.
Yeah, going north like that across the stairs will get you free and clear. If you went south, you're going to take an op attack.
It's a 2 on the D10.
Gotcha. That one's just going to go unconscious. I don't think there's a big difference in rats. It's going to get killed once you guys have a second, but it is effectively removed from combat at present. And then let's see. I think it's going to try to bite Mouchin again. The rat to your east gonna just kind of grab onto some armor. And I'd say with 2 rats there, doesn't take you guys an entire turn to dispatch the last of these. You can clear up the rats there. Malchin, you see a like tall figure cloaked in red and to pick up this girl off the floor with her throat slit and starts to drag the girl down the stairs. And it's the same girl who you like saw moments ago like slit her throat, but you see this figure kind of like drag her away before like just a little bit out of your view on the stairs, and they disappear.
Yeah, just gonna just double check. Did anyone see a little girl or someone dragging a little girl away, or just me?
Sorry, buddy.
No, I didn't see it either, Melchin. Does make me wonder, though. Now that you mention it, probably should have asked before we released him. But Tauchin or Tonnell, sorry, said something about doing something terrible to some woman. Meant to ask him what he meant by that.
The rest of us don't know that they like burned her alive, though, right?
I think 3 of the last hallucinations have been Machin. I don't remember who saw the girl getting burned on the stairs.
So you would have already seen that red figure, though, was the one that we saw walk by earlier, Malchin. So you would definitely know that was like the same figure. So that might have been the ghost guy.
Was it Tonnell was not wearing one of those red cowls. I think it's worth saying on some level, like he would have identified the red cowl as the cultists.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to dwell too much on these visions. They feel like they're just here to mess with us. Better to try to find a way to get out of here and stop what's ever doing this.
It does sort of seem like this thing is kind of targeting you. Said you heard it first, and every time I've heard it, I think you guys have heard it too. But every time you've seen it or heard it, we haven't necessarily.
Let me get a set of insight checks from y'all.
14 from Malshin?
10.
10 from
Sorry.
Jinx.
And 9 for Dalton.
Yeah, I don't think it's like far off for Dalton to recognize, but you guys are all close enough to a DC 10 to recognize the house is doing these things. It's not necessarily that they're doing them to one or the other of you. Malchin is just super perceptive. His perception is just much higher than you guys. So I'm giving him a higher chance to see these things versus you guys, it's just a little bit lower of a chance. But in general, these are things that are happening around this house. Like you guys, there's constant like flow of different ghosts and horrific things kind of happening here. It's just that Malchin's way too good at seeing them.
It's like ignorance is bliss. Just don't look too closely.
Precisely.
Yeah, that was definitely Jinx's angle earlier.
Well, hopefully that's the last of the rats. A little while at least. So you should keep looking. I guess Dalton will start. You said this seems to be another like rat nest, mostly like refuse and just bones and things like that.
It is indeed.
Yeah, so Dalton will probably try. He'll kind of look. He doesn't want to go digging around in these kind of refuse piles, so he'll try to look like around maybe the rest of the room, like if there's any doors or yeah, he'll focus on that rather than the refuse piles themselves.
Gotcha. There's like a rotted curtain to the northwest.
Yeah, so he'll move up to that. Does he'll look for any? I mean, it's probably in pretty bad shape, but he's going to look for any signs of like if it looks like it's been gnawed recently by rats, for example.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to see signs of rats on it. Um, it's still like inside of the rat den.
All right. Well, he'll keep his rapier at the ready and kind of with his free hand move the curtain aside.
Gotcha. So when you kind of slide it open, you see kind of light coming from two different directions here. There seems to be kind of a open air um, hole in the wall to the west of or to the north of you. There are a bunch of kind of like rotted and kind of like mildew ridden pillows in the center, surrounded by like candles and like wax like burnt into the floor. There's an arrow slot to the south, and more signs of like bones and refuse. But like that little kind of like silk curtain does seem to have kept some of the rat like infestation like isolated to that room, just not entirely. And I don't know if I said it, there's a door on the opposite side of the room on the northwest.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Dalton will step through, kind of taking a look around. He'll kind of, let Valtune and Jinx know room seems all right for now. No more rats. But his attention is going to be drawn to the like the pile of pillows and so there's like melted wax. He's thinking. I think the candle that they saw up in the other tower was like red with. I don't think he ever actually read the inscription or he couldn't read it, but he just wants to check like is the wax here seemed like it could have come from a candle like that. It's such like is it red wax?
Um, roll a intelligence check.
13.
I don't think there's any reason to see any commonality behind these and that candle. Um, yeah, I think these are just say like white candles that are kind of clearly having been burned here many times. And you can kind of recall that one was a yellow like tallow candle. Um, but even I think I don't think even like saying that the tallow is necessarily important. But these are like wax candles, say, where you can like kind of guess there is a different substance to the candles.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it was red, but red seems to be like the color for this cult, so maybe I just misremembered the candle color from there. Yeah, essentially, he was just trying to like look to see like if it looks like these candles in here were used like in some sort of ritual, but it looks like they're just regular candles that were used for lighting or yeah.
You said your intelligence was a 13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
You could recall some of the rumors were that some of the prostitutes read fortunes while they were essentially having sex. They would give the fortunes of the people they were sleeping with. And that was part of the draw towards this house. So it's not necessarily far off to recognize that this is perhaps like a divination circle.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he would, share that kind of thought with the others, but
Matching, what are you doing? Jinx, are you staying in that previous room and searching around? What are
Yeah,
you
I just
guys?
want to search for the key in this room. So I'll just kind of like take the light around and just kind of kick through anything that looks big enough there could be something important in it.
Gotcha. Roll an investigation as you kick through things. You can find a bronze urn, a silver cup, and you can find 3 tinder twigs, but there's no key. If you take the urn or the silver cup, the urn is worth 60 gold, the cup is worth 25.
They're like fairly manageable.
I would assume what bronze and it's worth 60 gold. That thing probably weighs 15 or so pounds. The silver cup is probably like 2 pounds. I think the silver cup is probably far more manageable.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll like wipe off the silver cup and then I'll pour like a shot of my liquor into it and then I'll go into the other room and show them like what I found and then tell them there's an urn we could grab on the way out.
Sorry, and if you don't know what tinder twigs are, they are something kind of special to Ptolus. I don't think there would be any reason to say you guys don't know what they are. Tinder twigs are essentially strike anywhere matches.
Okay, I got you. And how many of those was there?
There are 3 of them.
I'll just give one to each of them as well.
and you said this isn't just an opening up to the north here.
Yep, just an open air out into like where the grass is overgrown at the back of the keep, overlooking kind of the northern end of Ptolus. You're about 25 or so feet above the ground, but otherwise, yeah, just an opening.
Okay, yeah, Dalton's leery of getting too close to that, given like he doesn't want to be shoved off and down. But
Roll a insight, Dalton.
17.
When you approach the edge of this, there's no forces impinging on you. Like when you found the murder hole and felt like something was pushing you down into it.
So Dalton will kind of he'll step closer and then he'll kind of step back and then realize probably after a moment that he's not sensing what he kind of is half expecting to sense. So then he'll kind of move back towards the edge again, kind of give a little huh, and then
Do any of you all have thoughts about why it would be different? Why you wouldn't feel this force from above? You guys originally felt it climbing stairs previously. That there was a force kind of pushing you downstairs. You didn't feel it going up the stairs to here.
I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? Right? If you don't feel the force pushing you away, maybe that's where it wants us to go. It's trying to lead us.
Everybody hears the door to their west open up and you just hear a horrific scream from inside. But when you look over there, the door's shut.
Yeah, so Dalton will kind of like whirl around and um, hearing the scream, and then seeing the door is shut, is just like let out a another curse and yeah, every time.
I'll try to open it like slowly.
Roll a stealth check.
Just regular, right? Not disadvantage. 10.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, I'm +6, so 16.
So as you start to open the door, um, you kind of like start to slide it open, and you're trying to like distinguish what's inside of there, where the scream would have been coming from. And there's definitely like a waft of like the smell of death kind of coming from inside of there. And as you go to like open up the door, you're kind of like drawing it towards you. And within moments of kind of cracking it, you actually hear on the other side, "No!" And then like there's like almost like a response. "No! No!" And you guys are going to quickly see as two canine like creatures basically like leap up to into and slam into that door. Jinx, let me get you to roll an initiative roll.
13 total.
I got a 14, so the door's gonna get slammed open. The first of these like hairy kind of laughing canines is going to like slam open the door, and you see like on top of it there's like a like 3 or 4 foot tall rat figure who's like on top of it. And I think it's gonna push forward and go after Dalton. The creature biting out at you, Dalton, should hit with a 22, and it's gonna do 9 piercing damage to him. And then the one riding on top is going to slash out at Dalton with its sword. Should hit as well, and that'll do 8 slashing damage.
All right, and that leaves Dalton mortally wounded.
Gotcha. And then other one's gonna go up to Jinx. Just charge forward, kind of bite into you. Big ol' miss. And then And does it take an action to mount? It's half your movement, I think, to mount. Yeah, so he's gonna run up, and you'll see as he like leaps up on top of the creature, as it like runs away before he can get up on top of it. And then he's going to slash out at Jinx. And that's gonna miss as well. So that'll go to you guys. You can start whatever order you guys want. But you basically have two rats here riding on top of hyenas. What would you guys like to do? And humanoid rats as well.
Yeah, I think Dalton's focus is on the ones that have just lain into him. So I think he is going to cast a cloud of daggers, hoping to hit both the whatever canine creature and the rat that's riding it. It's kind of this like swirl of daggers appears in front of him, essentially putting it right on their space.
How about from Malchin or Jinx?
I'll do a taunt on the. I guess I'll do it on the hyena. That is like left of me.
Gotcha. Just the wisdom saving throw for rebuke.
Yeah, cutting or yeah, you know what I
Cutting
mean.
words. Yeah, that sounds right. It's going to fail.
So it's 7 damage, and I'm just gonna yell out, "You really gonna let that beast ride you like it owns you?"
Oh, my bad. I'm an idiot. It uses the giant hyena stats, but they're dire rats. Just in case you guys came through at the end of all this and collected tails. My bad. I did the cackle for zero reason at all. And from Malchin, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm moving closer to. Oh, basically the one that's Dalton is putting the late hurricane thing. I'm gonna try to swing at one at the dire rat that it's riding, and one on the rider. Let's see. So 17 to hit for 5 damage on the hyena dire rat.
Solid hit.
And then 22 to hit for 6 damage on the rider.
Bonus action?
Yeah, this is gonna be to the mount again. So the dire rat. 17, 21 to hit for 8 damage. Oh, and I'm gonna put my thing on that as well. So 8 plus 6, 12 damage, right?
14 if it's 8 plus 6.
Yeah, 8 plus 6. I am way too tired for this. Yeah. Wait, 8 plus 6, that's 14. I'm stupid. Yeah, 14, right? Or am I completely out of it?
Yeah, 14. Yep.
And start of their turn, the blades just deal damage. How much are they doing? Is it that 10?
10. Yep, 44.
Alrighty. So the rider's going to stay on top of the hyenas. The hyena moves basically on the other side of Dalton. If you would like to opportunity attack the hyena, you are welcome to with Jinx. That hyena strike is
So I'm gonna use the Warcaster to do the same thing again to it.
That's okay. You're going to do the cutting words to the hyena.
Yeah, sorry, Vicious Mockery. I've been saying the wrong thing the whole time. Vicious
Gotcha.
Mockery.
The rider on top of that's going to do 6 damage to you, Dalton. The hyena, I do not think it's going to save with a 14. No, it's got a +1 wisdom, so that is enough that it does save.
And you said the rider is attacking who?
It attacked Dalton as well.
Okay, I'm gonna cutting words the damage to Dalton.
Isn't that reaction as well, though? I don't think you can cutting words it.
Oh yeah, damn it. Yeah, you're good. Sorry.
The other one is going to ride out and around where Dalton. No, it doesn't have to cross over. Yeah, the hyena is just going to strike out at Malchin. Gonna miss with I think that's a 15. Yeah, and then the rider on Malchin should hit with like a 24, 22. And he's gonna do the D8. For 9 slashing damage as he cuts across you.
Yeah, and that puts Malshin at mortally wounded as well.
Gotcha. And as he cuts you, he's gonna try to bite into you, and that's gonna miss. Back around to you guys. The dire rat under the red guy is looking bloodied.
Oh, cutting words that one.
I think
I mean, Vicious Mockery.
What's the damage? Won't be able to kill it, but you guys have it mortally wounded with that no matter what you roll. So it is pretty severely wounded with what remains.
610. And then I'll do a bonus action. I'm gonna give Malchin Bardic Inspiration.
Let's see.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead first, Malchin. Makes more sense for you to go before Dalton.
Okay, I was just gonna. It was the red one who was mortally wounded.
The dire rat that it's riding on.
The
Mm.
diorite. Okay, yeah. Then that's the one I'm gonna attack with my first attack, and then I'm gonna attack the one riding it.
With the next 2.
Yep.
Excellent.
Nat 20. So let's see. That's
Yeah, you can 100% describe how you kill that.
yeah. So that's the diorite. I'm just that's a scimitar. So yeah. I think like, oh right. I think I just like slice out like at eye level with the dire rat, just slicing into its eyes and bit into its brain as I kill it.
Gotcha. So just opening up its skull right across its eyes.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then for the rider, those next two attacks.
Yeah, let's see. Rider. 1721 to hit for 7 damage.
20 whatever is definitely a hit.
Yeah, and then 24 for, let's see, another 8 and a d8 extra. 8 plus 5, so 13 extra damage. Right, bonus action.
Roll a d10. Oh
7.
wait, my bad. That was 2 attacks. My bad. That's not half its hit points.
So disregard that. What?
Yeah, so Dalton, the one Malchin just like slashed across and then pierced through with his short sword, kind of opening up a massive like gaping hole in its chest. You can like see its heart beating from within its chest. That one is ready to die if you would like to try to kill that one.
Yeah, I think maybe like seeing it start to falter as Malchin cuts the dire rat, it's writing right from underneath it, then seeing it kind of then opened up by Malchin. Yeah, Dalton's going to try to finish it off. It's a 13 to hit.
Solid hit.
4, 6. Oh wait. Oh yeah, no. Okay, yeah, 13 to hit. Yeah, for 6 damage. Sorry, I thought maybe I was misreading that. But it is a 9.
Alrighty. Um, uh, the rider to the south, the one that is still surviving, sees his Malchin like cuts down the other one, and like opens up its chest cavity. Um, and no offense to you, Dalton, but Malchin did a shitload of damage there. It's like drawing this contraption that you guys recognize pretty quickly here as a pistol. It is pointing it towards Malchin's head, and as it pulls a little lever on this device, you hear a little and it is going to fire a dragon pistol at Malchin.
Don't tell us like what it is, because I may do a spell on this.
Gotcha. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm either gonna do the bardic inspiration, cutting words, or do the spell for like the disadvantage. But I think you roll it, but don't tell me the modifiers, right?
Correct. So it's rolled. What do you want to do with that? Do you see it? Do you want me to tell you the number?
Okay, so you got 16. So I'm gonna do the silvery barbs is the one. I'm gonna do silvery barbs on it.
14 should miss, and it is just going to like fly past you out that room. And then hyena is, or the dire rat is going to strike out at Dalton. 16 to hit you. My bad. 17 hits Dalton.
Sorry, we're just grabbing something to drink. 17 hits. Yep.
And it's gonna do 11 more piercing damage as it bites into Dalton.
Yep, and that'll knock Dalton out.
As it bites him, it's gonna rush over, and by rush I mean it's just gonna strike out at Malchin and try to bite into Malchin. But a 16, no, a 14 is a miss.
Yeah, that misses.
And that's back around to you guys. Dalton is unconscious on the ground. What would you guys like to do?
And Malchin, you'll have inspiration from the silvery barbs too.
All right.
Advantage.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Marshall is just gonna retaliate, like attack the mount 2 times and the rider 1 time with the bonus action. So first attack with advantage. That is 15, 19 to hit for 10 damage.
Excellent. Second one.
Yeah, that's a big hit. Let's see. 24, 28 to hit for 7 damage.
Excellent. And the final one.
See, that's 24, 28 to hit for 6 damage, and then the rider was damaged before, right? I hit him once before, yeah. So I'm gonna put the D8 on him.
I did not have damage on that rider before.
Oh, did I miss it?
I thought that was the one that I hit with the daggers. Wasn't that the one that was in the
I
top
may have
corner
switched
there?
the riders. Fuck. Yeah, I switched the riders. Yeah, go for it. Doesn't matter. It's not a big deal.
Okay, but we could say that this is the one that was by Yates, so it's not hurt before, so that's just 6 damage then.
Yeah, but it would have been hurt anyways because Justin already split them with Jenks. I think that was the one. It doesn't matter. Just roll the d8.
So a total of 10 damage with the D8.
And Jinx or Dalton.
Oh well, I'm gonna do start powering up the staff, and I'm gonna do a charge for cure wounds on Dalton.
And then from Dalton.
Let me get rid of my death save failure.
7 hit points.
Thank you. So Dalton will grab his rapier that he dropped as he stands up and will stab out at probably the hyena, or the dire rat mount is still alive, right? The second one.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll stab out at that as I'm kind of getting to my feet. That would be a 14 to hit for 7.
Excellent.
And that's all for Dalton.
And I'm just gonna kind of like circle around behind this thing.
Gotcha. You'll see as the rider reloads his pistol, he is going to point it at Jinx and try to fire into Jinx.
I'm gonna cutting words that.
All right, roll the negative.
Mine's 3.
15 to hit you, Justin. Jinx.
Can you only cutting words once, or can both of us cutting words? That's on you.
Um, in particular, it probably doesn't distinguish, so probably both of you.
That's only a 1, so it was meant to be. 14 is my armor class. So.
It's going to hit you for 11 piercing damage. And then the hyena is going to bite into Jinx as well. The big old fail. And it's going to go back around to you guys.
Yeah, I think Motion is gonna do the same as before, like 2 swings into the hyena and a stab into the rider. Roll high for my to hit and then low for damage. Let's see. Yeah, like 25, 29 to hit for 5 damage.
Excellent.
And that's a 2, so that's 2, 5. Yeah, I don't think 9 will hit.
9 is a miss. Those
And
two
a
were on
nat.
the mount,
Yeah,
and that's on the rider.
yeah, and
Gotcha.
that's a natural 1. So I got inspiration at least.
Alrighty. That's gonna leave the mount mortally wounded. Jinx or Dalton. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna vicious mockery the mount.
That's gonna kill it.
And I think Dalton is going to. Well, yeah, he'll stab out at the rat thing, the last one. Yeah, that should hit for 9 damage.
Excellent. Still fucking attached to it, dear lord. Yeah, I think it's going to take the dodge action and it's going to flee. So it'll proc a opportunity attack from all of you if you would like.
And this has been. Yeah, Dalton has his reaction back. Yep. So yeah, so he'll stab out at.
And this will be disadvantage because of the dodge action, right? Or
That's correct.
Oh, good call. Forgot about that.
I'm gonna do vicious mockery to it. Wisdom 15.
Okay, so that'll
Roll for
still
the
hit.
damage.
Dalton will deal 5.
let's see, 24 to hit.
And that 7 was from the vicious mockery, Justin?
Yep, 7 for vicious mockery. That's right.
Yep, not sufficient. It's not going to make it.
Yeah, I rolled a crit first, but then Malchin I forgot about disadvantage.
So you guys like were originally like popping open that door because you saw like heard like a horrific scream. Damn, did I say the door was thrown open? I don't know. You heard like a horrific scream through that door, only to see the door was closed. And then you guys kind of like went to kind of peep in it. And as Jinx like went to open it up, like one of those dire rats basically like leaps out with the rider on top of it and pushes that door open and started that combat. So as you guys kill these 2 rats and their rat mounts, what would you like to do? Or